That's right. This is not meant to be a
right.
Christian bashing program.
Right.
It's meant to show people that atheism is an alternative, and that's actually
Right.
part of my next one, which is great. A very good one. Atheism is the most mentally honest alternative, as well as the least contradictory one. And since we do not observe any evidence for gods outside of personal belief, disbelieving is the most rational alternative. So what that means is that if you get to the point where you accept that there is no God, or even the possibility that there have never been any gods or any God, the next good alternative would be atheism, because atheism, very similar to secular humanism, has its own guidelines and its own set of morals and worldviews.
Well, atheism allows you to explore the world without any constraints. There are aspects of religion that frown on people going out and looking at religion or critically looking at religion, examining its claims and questioning those claims. While where science demands that we question those claims, the research, we have a very specific model that's followed in science. And the most important aspect of it is that we want other people to see what we have done, and we want them to comment on it, look for mistakes and errors. Religion does not allow that.
That's right. In fact, scientists welcome proof.
We welcome criticism.
Criticism
Right.
and proof of, or facts or proof that people see that actually acknowledge that they were wrong.
Right.
A scientist actually is joyful
Right.
when somebody comes in and says, look, I have this evidence, you were wrong. And a scientist says,
Oh yeah,
if he's a
it's
rational
great.
scientist, yeah, that's great, that's great. You're a great guy. Thank
I
you
didn't
for
think about
proving.
that. Sure.
Being a rational atheist reduces fear, reduces hatred, reduces anxiety, and encourages a good and confident feeling about one's identity without unprovable superstitious beliefs. Boy, that really hits it on the head there. It's just really great.
Pretty much sums it up. Yeah.
And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go through a couple of them because we're running out of time for this particular show. True knowledge of the here and now. That's what these people say are the advantages or what atheism has to offer. I receive comfort by using science to explain the world around me.
I can replace God with my humanity and peace of mind.
You can love others that are of other faith. You can examine the facts without the tribal bias of religion.
I can feel good without having to follow a rule book. It is a burden-removing experience knowing there is no hell or heaven.
I will take comfort that when I die, I will be in the same state as before I was conceived. And the best one of all, I can sleep in on Sundays. So all atheists can sleep in on Sundays, for that matter. You don't have to go to any particular church or monastery to feel good about yourself. And we will talk about that a little bit later in other episodes, why there is so many church communities, because there is a social sense of belonging, a personal sense of belonging to a social group, I might say.
Don't forget, we can work on Saturdays and Sundays if we like.
That's right, without
No
being
restrictions.
stoned, right? And that ends the show for today. What we have now is our quotes for the show. Quotes for the week, you might say. Here we go. You rolling? I cannot imagine a God who rewards and punishes the objects of his creation, whose purpose are modeled after our own. A God, in short, is but a reflection of human frailty. Neither I can believe that the individual survives the death of the body, although feebly souls harbor such thoughts through fear or ridiculous egotism. And that was Albert Einstein.
It will not do to investigate the subject of religion too closely, as it is apt to lead to infidelity. Abraham Lincoln, as quoted in Mansford's magazine.
Very good. The Word of God for me is nothing more than the expression and product of human weakness. The Bible, a collection of honorable but still primitive legends, which are nevertheless pretty childish. No interpretation, no matter how subtle, can for me change this. Albert Einstein.
We, on our side, are praying him to give us victory because we believe we are right. But those on the other side pray him too for victory, believing they are right. What must one think of us? That's a letter to Reverend Byron Sunderland, the Senate chaplain in 1862, from Abraham Lincoln.
Lately, it's been tough for us Christians. From Elton John to best-selling books, one of which calls God a delusion, faith is under attack. Well, I have news for atheists. They're the ones who are deluded. Because God exists. He made the universe. I'm 100% sure of it. How do I know? From the Bible. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. It says so right there on page 1 of the book God himself says he wrote. Checkmate! Sorry, atheists. Scientists believe that the earth is billions of years old because of something called radioactive decay. Well, the truth is, the earth is only about 6,000 years old. God says so in the Bible. Now, who should we believe? The creator of the universe, or scientist freaks that don't even believe in God? Astronomers claim they can see galaxies that are so far away, their light must be even older than the Earth for them to be visible. But the Bible proves that's impossible. When God created everything, he must have set the light from those galaxies already beaming toward the Earth, so that when he'd later give us telescopes, we'd have more stuff to look at. Is God unbelievable or what? Now, if you think that isn't the work of a conscious, omnipotent being whose son on earth was Jesus Christ, you must be deluded or something. According to atheists, fossils in the ground show that evolution, not intelligent design, produced all life on earth. That's ridiculous. The Bible clearly says God created man in his own image. Those dumb deluded scientists also say you can see evolution happening in the mutations of drug-resistant bacteria. Give me a break. God updates a gene so more good Christians can go to heaven, and that means we came from monkeys? It's amazing how science can cure diseases, smash the atom, and create nuclear explosions, yet be so wrong about everything that's mentioned in the Holy Bible. I'm sure we'll find fossils of giants and unicorns one of these days. Look, I'm a Christian, and us Christians, we understand that things like miracles that defy the laws of physics are the truth. We will never question that because we're 100% certain God meant what he wrote. Scientists aren't certain about anything. All they have is a bunch of theories. Clearly, stuff like science and reason have no place in our lives. It's the 21st century. We must live by the words of a very, very old religious book, so that when the earth is consumed in fire at Armageddon, we will physically ascend to paradise. And when I pray, the Creator himself and his Son, born of a blessed virgin, come and they speak to me, and they tell me I'm correct. So, atheists, who exactly is the deluded one here?